Right now, more severe weather out west, what residents are expecting later this week. Also, bank collapse leading to national concerns, what top officials are saying about the state of the U.S. economy.
And we have a first warn alert day in the forecast. We'll bring you the latest coming up.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for waking up with us here on Weekend Mornings. I'm Shane Hogan. Before we get to our top stories, though, we're going to send things over to Julian Seawright. We've got an alert day in the forecast, and he's keeping tabs on all things snow-related. Julian, good morning.
Good morning, and that's right, it's all things snow-related. So we got to talk about a first warn alert day, starting off with how much longer we're going to be dealing with it. Well, throughout this afternoon, we're going to be seeing that alert day stick around for us in the forecast. As of right now, we're waking up. Well, it's a bit of a winter wonderland, but it's not a whole lot of snow on the roadways, which is a good thing. Though it is a slick spot throughout much of southern Wisconsin, especially around Dane County, we're still going to be expecting around 1 to 3 inches of snowfall through about the early parts of this afternoon, where we're going to be seeing this alert day come to a close. Areas just to the north of I-94 could see, again, around 3 to 5 inches of snowfall. The heaviest amounts of snow from this system are mainly going to be in those areas. So this is what we're going to be expecting as we walk throughout the rest of today. This morning, still going to be dealing with some light snow, and then it's going to continue to be on and off throughout the rest of our morning into our early afternoon for us here in southern Wisconsin. To the north, we're going to be seeing a bit more of that snowfall still linger until we get into the rest of our Sunday afternoon and even heading into our Sunday night. So this is what we're expecting in terms of snowfall once the event is all said and done. So this is counting for yesterday or last night's snowfall and for what we're going to be expecting for tonight. 3 to 6 inches for southern Wisconsin. Areas to the north, 6 or even more in terms of snow is what we're going to be expecting as well. So planning out the day, expect some light snow, some flurries, and some slick spots, but temperatures will be into the middle 30s by the time we get into our afternoon. We'll talk more about what else to expect in a few moments. Until then, back to you, Shane.
All right, Julian, thank you. Out west to California now, where an atmospheric river is slamming the state. Now, there are concerns of surging runoff and heavy snowpack that could devastate areas that have already been through a brutal winter. Joy Benedict has more.
Racing to dig out and stock up as already overwhelmed mountain communities struggle with rain and snow melt that could destroy even more homes.
I'm calling it a white tornado.
In Crestline, Don Turek looks at what's left of his home. Not much, with the roof in the living room and in the kitchen.
This thing came down in a 7-day period like never before.
David Daniels lives around the corner, or at least he used to, before his roof also collapsed.
First time into my life. I'm 60 years old and I'm homeless.
But Central California bore the brunt of this storm. Early today in Pajaro, a levee failed, prompting round-the-clock rescues by the National Guard. Throughout Monterey and Santa Cruz counties, beaches are littered with debris and miles of road are impassable due to rock slides, mudslides, and collapsed pavement. Further north in Kernville, this is just one of at least a dozen rivers that overflowed, with officials monitoring 30 more statewide. In San Francisco, the winds and rains caused a massive tree to crush several cars. Caltrans has been working around the clock, and this month alone has cleared 45 million cubic yards of snow. That is enough snow to fill 100 Rose Bowl stadiums. Joy Benedict, CBS News, Crestline, California.
And it's definitely not over either. The National Weather Service expects yet another atmospheric river to drench the Bay Area and Monterey this week. Flood watches are in place until at least Wednesday morning. Now to some health news this morning. The FDA is updating its mammogram standards to help better prevent, detect, and treat cancer. Under the new rules, providers will be required to notify women if they have dense breast tissue. About half of all women over the age of 40 have dense breasts, which can make it harder to detect breast cancer. New research shows the Omicron variant of the coronavirus is much less likely to lead to long COVID than the strain that circulated at the beginning of the pandemic, which was about 3 years ago. A Swiss study found that healthcare workers infected with the original strain were up to 67% more likely to experience long COVID than those who had never been infected. But there was no similar increase for healthcare workers infected with the Omicron strain. And there is new evidence that the air you breathe can affect your overall heart health. Researchers tracked hospital admissions for cardiovascular disease in 70 Chinese cities and found higher admission rates in places with elevated ozone levels. They're concerned air pollution from climate change could make the problem even worse. 7:05, the collapse of a Silicon Valley bank happened in a matter of days following a bad bet and a loss on bonds, and that move led to a run on the bank, leading to the second largest bank collapse in American history. Now there's concern around the country. Willie James Inman has more.
Following the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank this week, officials in Washington are expressing concern.
When banks experience financial losses, it is and should be a matter of concern.
Silicon Valley Bank is the 16th largest in the country, with $209 billion in total assets late last year, according to the FDIC. The bank is known for serving tech startups and venture capital firms.
Silicon Valley Bank failed largely because of its links to the tech industry, because tech is getting nailed by all the rise in interest rates and change in consumer preferences.
On Friday, state regulators shut down the bank, transferring control of its assets to a new institution controlled by the FDIC. In a statement, the agency said customers would be able to access their funds no later than Monday morning. But it only insures deposits up to $250,000. The bank serves some major companies like Roku, Pinterest, Shopify, and Etsy, which warns sellers that some deposits may be delayed. Small business owner Amber Fields now swept up in the chaos.
I'm a mom of 3. I run a small business. I do this from my home. Those funds feed my family and pay my bills.
The effect is also being felt overseas, with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying his government will take steps to assist businesses that are impacted. Mark Zandi also told CBS News that he doesn't believe the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank will bring about a much broader systemic issue for the financial sector. Meanwhile, California Governor Gavin Newsom says he's speaking with the White House to bring about a solution as quickly as possible. Willie James Inman, CBS News, the White House.
7:07, still ahead this morning, car safety, what Consumer Reports recommends when it comes to car seats. And you're taking a live look this morning over the Capitol. Julian tracking that alert day when we come back.
It's A1 Furniture's biggest and best sale ever. Their warehouse liquidation event is on now. Our lease is up and everything must go. Over $1 million in inventory must be sold now at huge discounts. 40,000 square feet of incredible savings only at A1 Furniture and Mattress.
Good news. This just in. Your Ford dealers have fresh shipments of their award-winning SUV lineup in stock and ready for you to drive home today. Get your hands on a new Ford, the #1 brand in SUV owner loyalty, including Bronco Sport with standard GOAT modes and Explorer, America's all-time best-selling SUV. And now, here's more good news. Now get a 2022 Explorer with 0% APR financing for 36 months, only at your Wisconsin and UP Ford dealers.
Spring is in the air, and you know what that means. It's Feldco season.
Feldco season. It means 50% off windows with no money down, no payments, and no interest until 2024. So you can replace those eyesores without breaking the bank. It means getting the windows you want fast, so your home's ready for the warmer weather ahead. It's the season of home renewal. It's Feldco season.
This offer won't last long. Hurry. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brux Night Guard. Now, the Brux Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to bruxnightguard.com and order yours today.
All right, team, we got a big project coming up. And it all starts with ordering promotional products.
I'm on it. 4imprint makes it easy to get the logoed products you're looking for. The latest in apparel, drinkware, bags, high-tech items, and more. You can be certain of getting it right at 4imprint.com.
Come on out. I'm on it. imprint for certain. My part-time service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting nationalguard.com.
Can't get home in time to watch the news? News 3 Now is always on.
Get Channel 3000 app now so you'll have all the day's top stories in the palm of your hand.
The Channel 3000 app. Get it now.
Powered by News 3 Now.
Don't miss out on 40,000 square feet of incredible savings at A1 Furniture's warehouse liquidation event on now. Everything must go with immediate pickup or delivery. Sofas, sectionals, dining sets, bedroom sets, mattresses, and more at liquidation prices. Only at A1 Furniture and Mattress.
And continuing our first Warn Alert Day coverage, this is how we're going to start things off by breaking down the details. This is what we're going to be expecting throughout the course of today. Through the rest of the early parts of this afternoon, we are going to continue this alert day as we're going to be expecting some light snowfall that could accumulate another inch or two, maybe even 3 throughout much of southern Wisconsin. But areas to the north could see around 3 to 5 more inches of snowfall. But the good news is around Dane County and much of southern Wisconsin, we're just dealing mainly with slippery stretches. There are some roads that are onto the snow-covered side, but overall, we're still looking at slippery stretches to be the main issue for this morning. So going into the rest of our details, well, winter weather bulletins. To the north is where we have the winter weather advisory, and the pink is the winter storm warning, which is stretching in from Green Bay all the way towards Superior in Minnesota. But what we're going to be dealing with is mainly just some light snow again as we continue throughout the rest of the day. We're going to be looking at the light snow again pushing towards the eastern side of southern Wisconsin as we continue throughout the rest of the morning hours. But we're going to see overall over the last about 24 hours or so, we've seen about 2 inches of snow, maybe even 3 around Dane County that has accumulated on our radar, especially into the southern Wisconsin area. To the north a bit more, closer towards 4, but this is also radar indicated and not official snow totals. So don't hold on to these numbers. It's just kind of a little bit of a gauge of what's kind of occurred over the last 24 hours. So let's walk through the course of today. What can we expect throughout the morning? Well, it's actually going to be our best time to do any kind of shoveling, especially around southern Wisconsin, once we get into our later morning hours. This will be between 8 and 9 o'clock as we get into the rest of the morning, and then early afternoon. We also have some opportunities as well. It's going to be on and off light snow that we're going to be dealing with throughout the rest of our Sunday afternoon. Around dinner time, the snow itself is going to start to phase itself out a bit more, mainly impacting the north and the southeast. Once we get into around Sunday nights, transitioning into our Monday morning, light snow flurries, and as that system tracks itself about southeast, we could even wake up around 7 o'clock with some light flurries, some light snow that's going to be very brief and move its way out by the time we get into our later Monday afternoon or Monday morning. Here's a look at our travel impacts. Again, slushy roads are mainly going to be the concern throughout the course of today. Not a whole lot of snow-covered roads as we're waking up this morning, but a lot of slippery stretches from 511. So make sure that you are paying attention and just taking it slow throughout the course of the day. Here's a look at how we can plan out said day. Mid-30s is what we're expecting, and we're going to see on and off light snowfall as well as we get into the rest of our Sunday. Taking a look at our 10-day forecast, temperatures will be into the lower 30s as we get into our Monday and Tuesday. So a cold start to next week. Could see some flurries again for Monday morning, but otherwise, we are actually warming back up. We get a little bit of a taste of spring, which is again a tease because next weekend we're seeing 30s for us here in Madison and for our friends in La Crosse, Shane. So it's once again a short-lived warm-up.
Yeah, that little tease you mentioned. This is the time you get snow this time. People's patience is just, it's over.
Mine's already done.
A March snow, is there anything worse than that? But we come to expect it every year, but, you know, still sucks.
I'm ready to wrap it up.
Julian, thank you. Since being introduced decades ago, car seat technology has improved dramatically in recent years, and experts with Consumer Reports say their tests show the latest safety innovation could significantly cut the risk of head injuries on the road.
With a 1-year-old and another one on the way, Natalie Gerstein knows her top priority when looking for a car seat: safety.
Baby stuff is always innovating and changing at a miraculous rate, so they're always coming out with new and better.
Just look at how car seats have changed over the years. Today's seats are no doubt safer. Like in the case of Load Legs, a clever feature originally from Europe that gives car seats extra support by extending a leg from the car seat base to the car floor.
It allows for crash forces to be absorbed more so by the car seat and the load leg
and less crash energy to be transferred to your child occupant.
CR's crash testing shows the added safety benefit of a load leg as it limits both the car seat and the child's motion.
We've found that when using infant-sized dummies, that there was an average 46% reduction in head injury risk for seats that have a load leg versus those that don't have a load leg.
You can expect to pay more for that extra margin of safety. For example, CR's top-rated infant seat from Kleck offers excellent crash protection with its load leg. A more reasonably priced seat that also scored best for crash protection is the Evenflow Light Max DLX. Before shopping for a seat with a load leg, check your car's manual for compatibility. This is Marcy Whalen.
When we come back, we're talking with Dr. Shaw about the recent time change and how that can impact your sleep.
Join me in the 608 weekdays on News 3 Now this morning.
All you have to do is point. Yes!
1-800-GOT-JUNK can make it disappear.
And that's why they all start dancing.
Woo!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
So we spend a third of our lives sleeping. Shouldn't we try to get the best sleep possible? That's why Denver Mattress is all about that sleep life. And during the 4-day super sale, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out the Summit Firm for only $299.99. Or save up to $100 on our Aspen lineup. Plus, 4 years no interest, no down payment, and free shipping. Improve your sleep life one night at a time. Only at Denver Mattress. The easiest way to get the right mattress.
Two candidates for Supreme Court, two very different beliefs. Judge Janet Protasewicz, she believes women should have the freedom to make their own decisions on abortion. Extremist Dan Kelly, he supports the 1849 law that takes away women's rights and criminalizes abortion, even in cases of rape, incest, and health of the mother. So who represents you? An extremist or a common sense judge? Vote by April 4th.
Create your perfect room for entertaining, relaxing, and more with patio enclosures. Right now, get 25% off your sunroom. Plus, enjoy exceptional financing. Call today. Patio enclosures.
There are so many things we take for granted, and along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for granted too. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy and water providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Where should we put all your luggage, Ms. Hilton?
In the connecting room, please. Book confirmed connecting rooms for an extra large closet. Or, for your family.
When you need a connecting room for whatever reason, it matters where you stay. Hilton for the stay.
All you have to do is point. Yes!
1-800-GOT-JUNK can make it disappear.
And that's why they all start dancing.
Woo!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Light snow continues throughout southern Wisconsin and Wisconsin in itself. For our first warn alert day, here's what we're looking at. Going in throughout the rest of this morning into our afternoon, we're going to be expecting this alert day to stick around. So make sure that you're taking it slow on the roadways and just being mindful. Plenty of slushy and slick spots on the roadways this morning. Now, as we take a look at what we're seeing for our details, 1 to 3 inches are going to be expected for southern Wisconsin specifically from the rest of the snow. And by the time we get into our Sunday nights and early Monday morning. But for areas to the north of I-94, we could see again a bit more snowfall. Around 3 to 5 inches of snow is what we're going to be expecting. So taking a look at our radar, you can see mainly the eastern side of Wisconsin in itself is mainly dealing with that snowfall as of right now. Again, it's not very heavy snow, so that's why we haven't seen a surmountable type of snow accumulations over the last 12 hours or so, but still light enough snow that will cause some issues on the roadways. We'll have an update in a few moments. Until then, back to you, Shane.
All right, Julian, thank you. In this morning's health conversation, I sat down with Dr. Rupa Shaw to talk about that recent time change and how you can adjust your sleep schedule. Every spring, we set the clocks ahead 1 hour as daylight saving time starts, and while the idea is to conserve natural light, and adjusting clocks and our lives ahead or back by 1 hour may seem like a small change, it can have an impact on our sleep and, to our extent, our overall health. As a Some Health family medicine physician and wellness coach, Dr. Rupa Shah joins us today to talk a bit about adjusting to the new time, as well as a wellness trend that's gaining some popularity, calling sleep syncing. Now, let's start off with that recent time change. What can people do to better adjust to an early alarm if they're, used to what was the normal time before?
Yeah, so this is always hard for folks. It's always really difficult, even for me. But it's okay. If you haven't prepared in the days to weeks leading up to the time change, there are still a few things you can do in the days to weeks following the time change. But the biggest one is keeping with the normal sleep and wake time. So you want to get up and go to bed at the same time every single day, even on the weekends. So that's the most important thing, is sticking to a routine. Other things you can do that I really like is getting morning sunlight. This is so important. Sunlight is such a strong circadian cue. Remember, circadian rhythm is that body's internal clock. So that sunlight gives us that strong cue to set our circadian rhythm for the day. So getting outside first thing in the morning for about 10 to 15 minutes can be a really powerful thing to do to help reset and get your body accustomed to that time change.
A natural alarm clock almost, right?
Basically,
Now, a lot of people can struggle with getting enough sleep, and a wellness trend called sleep syncing is starting to increase in popularity. Now, what is sleep syncing, and what is it supposed to do for your overall wellness?
Right, so sleep syncing is trying to align your body's internal natural circadian rhythm to your daily routine. Now again, I just said your circadian rhythm is your body's internal clock. So in a sense, you're trying to nudge your internal body clock with your daily routines. It's trying to set a daily routine so that you can go to bed and wake up feeling a little bit more refreshed. Getting that better quality sleep, you're gonna feel better, less risk of health problems, you're gonna have better focus, better concentration, and most of all, hopefully better energy throughout the day.
Yeah, kind of kickstart your day.
Exactly.
Now, what are some tips that you have that people can take in creating a sleep syncing routine? Because like you mentioned earlier, it all comes down to routine.
Yeah, so you just said it. Again, I'll go back to making sure that every day you wake up and you go to bed at the same time. Super important. Again, my favorite, getting that morning sunlight. It is such a powerful cue to our brain of when it's time to be awake and when it's time to go to bed. This can be simple, like as soon as you wake up, open your curtains, or like me, have no curtains, so you can wake up with the natural light.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Or go outside and drink your coffee or your tea and get 10 to 15 minutes of natural sunlight. You've heard this one before, but no screens before bed. Limit the amount of blue light that you get. Again, you want to tell your brain at night that it's time to go to sleep and get some of that natural melatonin going. So reading, listening to podcasts, things that calm your brain. Another good thing is to have a bedtime routine. It's not just for kids, is what I say. This could be really simple, like maybe you take a warm shower and then you do some breath work and then you read a book and you fall asleep. The key here is to do the same things at the same time every single day, and it kind of tells your body that, yep, it's time to go to bed soon.
Yeah, you're almost tricking your mind as a way of, all right, time to end the day.
Exactly. Yeah,
well,
but it works.
Some great tips there. Now, Dr. Shah, where else can people find you?
So they can find me on Instagram at Wellness with Dr. Shah.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our thanks to Dr. Shah, as always. When we come back, more coverage on today's alert day. Julian tracking the snowfall after this.
At Denver Mattress, we're all about that sleep life. And during the 4-day super sale, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Plus 4 years, no interest, no down payment, and free shipping. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
All right, team, we got a big project coming up. And it all starts with ordering promotional products.
I'm on it. 4imprint makes it easy to get the logoed products you're looking for. The latest in apparel, drinkware, bags, high-tech items, and more. You can be certain of getting it right at 4imprint.com. Come on out. I'm on it.
4imprint, for certain.
When you stay at a Verbo, you always get the whole home. Not part of it, but but the whole upstairs, the whole downstairs, the whole fridge, and the whole secret nap room. Because is it really a vacation home if you have to share the house with the host? Only with Verbo.
You are a friend, a neighbor, a family at heart. We are Gruber Law Offices, your ally and your advocate. Trucking accidents can be catastrophic, resulting in extreme property damage, life-threatening injuries, and even death. You need Gruber Law Offices to fight for you, and we'll fight because we care. You can get the help you need because we are Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hello, I'm Tommy Van Ness from the Tommy Van Ness Realty Group. For over a decade, thousands of people have turned to Tommy Van Ness Realty to buy or sell their home. Because we are more than your realtor, we're your partner.
If you list with us and take advantage of our extensive marketing, everyone will know your home is for sale.
The Tommy Van Ness Realty team is working hard for you. Call Tommy Van Ness today at 608-395-7375. Why settle for less? Call Tommy Van Ness.
At Denver Mattress, we're all about that sleep life. And during the 4-day super sale, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Plus 4 years, no interest, no down payment, and free shipping. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
Monday, we have a warning about a popular water bottle you may be using every day.
Our experts tell us what their tests found and what you need to do to protect yourself.
And is there any more snow or rain in our forecast next week? Join us Monday between 4:30 and 7.
News 3 Now's Call for Action team gets results.
We're taking action for you.
Nearly 700 cases closed, more than $500,000 recovered, and we're not finished yet. When you need help, call for action only on News 3 Now.
Right now, the community coming together in Jefferson County to support a little girl with a rare neurological condition.
And we have a first warned weather alert day in the forecast. We'll bring the details in a moment.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for waking up with us here on Weekend Mornings. Hope your Sunday is off to a nice start. I'm Shane Hogan. Before we get to our top stories this morning, we're going to send things over to Julian Seawright. He's been on top of the weather all morning long, and we've got an alert day in the forecast today.
That's right, Shane. Let's get right to it. The first warned alert days in the forecast throughout the rest of our early afternoons. We're going to look forward to start to expire as snow in itself is going to start to dwindle throughout much of Wisconsin, and especially for southern Wisconsin. So here's a look at the details. Once we get into the early afternoon, we are looking for those winter weather advisories, which are impacting our friends to the north, to start to expire. And on top of it, a lot of the snow in itself is going to go from light to just mainly being flurries, or at least on and off. But throughout the rest of this morning, just be careful because we are still looking at some slippery stretches from the light snow that has been falling throughout the course of this morning in the overnight hours and will lead into around lunchtime. We are going to be seeing around 1 to 3 inches of accumulation for the rest of the duration of this event for much of southern Wisconsin. Areas to the north could be seeing anywhere between 3 to 5 inches. Again, they're going to see the heaviest amounts of snowfall from this system, not so much for us here into the south. So let's talk about the radar as of right now. You can see on the eastern side is where we're dealing with any kind of snowfall right now, but it's mainly light and it's starting to edge its way just outside of the eastern side of Dane County as of right now. And you see closer towards the western side, not really dealing with much in terms of snowfall. Might see some flurries, but overall things are pretty much cleared out. Over the next 3 hours, so the rest of our late morning, we're going to see the snow continue to hit just mainly from Dade County and areas to the east, but we'll start to clear up once we get closer towards the afternoon hours. We'll talk more about the timing and when it's best to shovel any kind of snow that has accumulated in a few moments. Till then, back to you guys.
All right, Julian, thank you. Now let's take a live look outside this morning. You're looking at the Beltline at Whitney Way. Beltline looking in good condition this morning. You just heard Julian talking about the chances of some slushy roads out there, but at least the Beltline, this stretch, looking pretty good. Now let's take a look at the 511 map here. You can see a little bit more broader range of roads across our viewing area. You can see here anything outlined in pink, that indicates a slippery stretch. So again, Julian just mentioning that. If you are headed out the door this morning, give yourself a little extra time. Still some slushy roads out there. Well, you may have noticed some snowplow crews out this morning, and as of about 8 p.m. last night, Madison Street Division reports about 32 trucks were out plowing and applying salt as needed on the main thoroughfares there throughout the downtown Madison area. It's not a full city plow, however, though, that's only for when there is 3 or more inches of snow on the road, and at this time, the storm near its end. So again, not a full plow, but crews already out and about this morning. You can stay up to date on the weather on our First Warn Forecast weather app, hourly forecast, road conditions, and the latest radar as well. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC weather. And here, just another quick reminder in case you did forget to change your clocks last night. We have officially sprung forward overnight, but we will all sacrifice that hour of sleep, I think, for a little more daylight moving forward. So again, in case you forgot, go ahead and change those clocks. 7:31, continuing coverage now. Community members in Whitewater held a vigil near the scene where a dead newborn was found last Saturday. Police officers made that discovery in a field near the Twin Oaks Mobile Home Park. It's about a mile north of the UW Whitewater campus. Last night, the community came together for a candlelight vigil while seeking closure and looking for more answers.
There's a lot of anger and hurt to our community. If I'm begging, if anybody knows anything, to contact the Whitewater Police Department and bring some closure to this.
Few details have been released in this case, with Whitewater Police citing an ongoing investigation. You can stay with News 3 on air and online for the very latest developments in this story. A Janesville man accused of stabbing a woman multiple times last year has been found not guilty of attempted homicide due to a mental disease or defect. 19-year-old Asher Spitz faced the charge of first-degree attempted intentional homicide in the October 2022 stabbing that left a woman with life-threatening injuries. Spitz pleaded guilty but was deemed not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect. He has been ordered to be committed to a mental health facility in Oshkosh. Police in Fitchburg say 5 vehicles were stolen. 4 of those vehicles, though, later located not too far from where they were taken. However, one still has not been found. This happened in the 3 different locations west of Fish Hatchery Road near Madison South Side. Officers do believe one of the stolen vehicles may be connected to another property crime in the area. This week, we introduced you to Amaya. She is a smiley 5-year-old who loves the song Mbop and the movie Trolls, and she's living with an extremely rare disease. Saturday, Amaya's community came together in Cambridge to support her family's goal of getting a wheelchair-accessible van so that she can experience as much of the world as possible. Braden Ross has more.
For Kara Lowry, there's a long road ahead.
She was able to sit up on her own for a period of time, and one day it was like gone.
Her daughter Amaya has Rett syndrome, a rare disease that affects only 1 in 10,000 female births globally.
How have they been dealing with it? Graciously and patiently.
Amaya is confined to a wheelchair, which makes life a little more complicated.
I just worry about her safety, and I want to keep things as accessible for her as I can.
For Kara, this means trading in her Chevy Equinox for a wheelchair-accessible van. But without help, that's easier said than done.
Especially the working world isn't set up to, work around the difficulties that the parents of children with profound disabilities encounter every day. A lot of people with 2 incomes can't afford to go out and buy a new van. They're very expensive.
So they're turning to their community for help.
They're so deserving, and they're so generous and warm, open-hearted people that, it wasn't even a question. I was like, obviously, I'm going to help with this.
Their fundraiser Saturday is helping them raise money toward their goal of $50,000 to buy a van.
We have probably close to $6,000 in raffle and silent auction items here today.
It's very exciting. I'm very, very happy, and I'm just overwhelmed with, gratefulness, gratitude for the support that we've received. So,
for News 3 Now, I'm Braden Ross.
More than $5,000 has already been raised for Amaya's van. If you would like to support her family's goal, you can find all of that information on our website, channel3000.com. The state capitol welcoming nearly 300 Girl Scouts as part of Wisconsin Girl Scouts Democracy Day. Girls and their troops got to meet elected female lawmakers, take tours of the Capitol, and learn more about democracy. The Dane County Board of Elections also brought in real voting machines so the girls could see what it's like to cast a vote, something they'll be able to do once they turn 18. Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez, who also happens to be a Girl Scout troop leader, spoke to the girls.
This is what being engaged in your democracy looks like. You get to lend your voice to the issues that you are passionate about. So events like today's Democracy Day are so important because young girls like you are our future.
And of course, a big part of the Girl Scouts is earning those patches and pins. All Scouts who attended got a special Wisconsin Girl Scouts Democracy Day patch. Still ahead this morning, a big event returning to Madison, keeping an eye on warmer days ahead.
Okay, are we gonna fit? There we go.
At American Family Insurance, we're here to carefully protect your dreams.
All right, open your eyes.
Welcome home. Save up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto insurance today. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
Sexual assault of an 11-year-old. No prison time. He raped a military veteran, left her for dead. Just 2.5 years. Raped a mentally disabled 14-year-old. Probation. How the heck did this happen? Janet Protasewicz.
If you could go back in time, would you have ruled any differently? I would say no.
Really? No time in prison?
I would say no.
Protasewicz set violent criminals free. Again and again. Tell Judge Protasewicz, stop protecting criminals.
Oh no, I think I lost my debit card.
Okay, don't panic.
Don't panic, we're in a mall. Some stranger's probably tapping new shoes, tapping a washer-dryer combo, just tapping everything in sight.
It's okay, just tap your phone. With BMO, you can use your phone to freeze and unfreeze a lost card.
I can?
And you can always get a new card instantly at a BMO branch.
I got my tap bag.
You ever seen someone this excited about a debit card before?
Oh yeah. Not this excited.
When a bank gives you instant peace of mind, that's the BMO effect.
How you sleep sets your entire life in motion. So live your best life by getting your best sleep on a Doctor's Choice mattress. The perfect combination of support and comfort.
In fact, I've been recommending it to my patients for over 20 years.
Visit us in-store or online and discover all the benefits of Doctor's Choice, only at Denver Mattress.
The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is here and ready to help. Anyone in Wisconsin can call, text, or chat to get connected to a trained 988 counselor. Trained counselors are here to support anyone experiencing a suicidal, mental health, or substance use crisis. You can also contact 988 if you're concerned about someone. 988 is confidential and free to all Wisconsin residents. 988 24/7. Call, text, chat. Here to support you.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now.
Call 1-800-336-0524.
Need to know what the traffic is like before you hit the road? Get the Channel 3000 app now, and I'll tell you where the trouble spots are and how to get around them. The Channel 3000 app. Get it now. Powered by News 3 Now.
We protect your house and your car because we know they're the launching pad to their dreams. And now you can save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
Continuing our first Warn Alert Day coverage for us. Well, let's talk about it once again. Breaking down the details of what we're going to be expecting throughout the course of today, mainly through this afternoon. We have the alert day in the forecast, and that's because we are looking for some roads that are going to stay remaining on the slick side and throughout much of southern Wisconsin. Light snow could see some accumulations of 1 to 3 inches by the time we get into the later part of this afternoon and evening hours, especially as we get closer to our Sunday nights. So we are looking for a small resurgence of some light snow for us here in southern Wisconsin. But areas to the north of I-94, they could be seeing the heaviest amounts of snowfall once everything is all said and done. We'll talk about those totals in a few moments. Until then, as of right now, here's a look at our radar. We're still seeing that snow mainly on the eastern side of Wisconsin. It's going to continue to be light, but we are starting to see a bit of some of those showers and bands starting to pick up as we get into the later parts of our morning hours. So as we get closer to the noon hour, we're still going to be looking at some on and off light snow throughout southern Wisconsin, moving its way at its southeasterly track. Here's a quick way you could plan your day. It's going to be best to start shoveling in about the next couple of hours where we're looking for the snow to start to taper off. But throughout the rest of this afternoon, temperatures in the middle 30s, and on top of it, some light snow will continue on and off. Over to you, Shane.
All right, Julian, thank you very much. Well, we may be talking about snow this morning, but spring isn't too far off, and as the weather hopefully begins to warm up, you may find yourself thinking about getting back out on the water. To help inspire those dreaming of summer, Canoecopia returned to the Alliant Energy Center this weekend. It's considered the largest paddle sport consumer event in the world, with plenty of canoes, kayaks, stand-up paddle boards, outdoor equipment, and clothing for anyone looking for new gear to hit the water. It is more than just a shopping event, though. There are educational presentations where paddlers can learn more about a specific gear to fit a specific style of paddling.
So this starts the season a couple months earlier than it might and inspires people, and we want people to be inspired. We want them to go out and stretch themselves a little bit and try new things, and it doesn't matter if they've never paddled before or if they're experts.
A little something for everyone. There is still time to check out Canoecopia. It runs from 10 until 4 today at the Alliant Energy Center. Right now, tickets cost $15 and are available at the door by cash or check only. Kids 17 and under can get in for free. Still ahead, the Badger women's hockey team advancing to the Frozen Four. All right, we got coverage of that coming up, and you are taking a live look over the Capitol this morning. Julian, keeping an eye on that snow when we come back.
Sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
At Pick and Save, we want our fresh produce to meet your expectations, which is why we do up to a 27-point inspection to check for things like color and scarring. Because when it comes to fresh, higher standards mean fresher produce. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
So we spend a third of our lives sleeping. Shouldn't we try to get the best sleep possible? That's why Denver Mattress is all about that sleep life. And during the 4-day super sale, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out the Summit Firm for only $299.99. Or save up to $100 on our Aspen lineup. Plus, 4 years no interest, no down payment, and free shipping. Improve your sleep life one night at a time. Only at Denver Mattress. The easiest way to get the right mattress.
When Aspen Dental told me that my dentures was ready, I was so excited. I love the confidence. I love that I can flash this beautiful smile and make the world smile with me. I would totally say Aspen Dental changed my life.
Aspen Dental makes new smiles affordable. Right now, get 20% off dentures. We do anything to make you smile. Schedule your consultation today.
All right, team, we got a big project coming up. And it all starts with ordering promotional products.
I'm on it.
4imprint makes it easy to get the logoed products you're looking for. The latest in apparel, drinkware, bags, high-tech items, and more. You can be certain of getting it right at 4imprint.com.
Come on out. I'm on it.
4imprint, for certain. This ring is a commitment. After we got married, I got very sick. He would come every day to help me walk again. And now I'm back. This is a reminder
that love endures all.
Express your extraordinary love. Jared, love brilliantly.
When your door is always open, so is the fridge. At Pick and Save, however you shop, in-store, pickup, or delivery, you get the same great prices, deals, and rewards. That's a win-win-win. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
And back into our first warn alert day details for us. As we continue throughout the rest of this afternoon, this is what we're going to be expecting for us. Throughout the morning, we're dealing with some light snow, some flurries for some areas, slippery stretches as well. Not many snow-covered areas, but some roads are snow-covered this morning. So make sure that you are taking it slow on the roadways and just being careful. But the good news is this was heavy, wet snow, so mainly it's just going to be slush on the roads throughout the course of this afternoon and most of our Sunday. Now, we are looking for this alert day to expire once we get into our early afternoon hours, as the system in itself is really going to start to clear up for southern Wisconsin. So let's go ahead and talk about it. To the north is where we're seeing mainly any kind of winter weather advisories or winter storm warnings. Stretching in from Superior, northern parts of Minnesota, to our friends in Green Bay is where we're looking at that winter storm warning to be in effect. Again, we're also looking at the winter weather advisory, for Juneau and Adams County to be in effect until about 1 p.m. And then once that's all said and done, it's where we're really looking for things to start to calm down in terms of snowfall. Though it's not like it's been a raging snowstorm for us. We've been dealing with light snow overnight into our early Sunday morning, but you can see just south and east of Madison is where we're looking at those bands of snow. Anywhere to the west, might be seeing some flurries, but overall the light snow is mainly hitting the eastern parts of Wisconsin as we continue throughout the rest of our morning. Right now, over the last 24 hours, this is what we've seen as a radar indication. Don't hold on to these snow totals because they're not official by any means, but just kind of gives us a gauge of how much snow has fallen throughout southern Wisconsin. To the northern parts of I-94 is where we've seen, again, the heaviest snow amounts, but even parts of Dane County and near Crawford and Lafayette counties have been seeing between 2 to 3 inches of snow from the last 24 hours. So walking through the rest of this morning and our afternoon, once we get closer to the later morning hours between like 11, 12, and going into around 1 o'clock will be the best opportunity to shovel your driveway or sidewalk if you need to. Just take note that it's going to be wet snow, so maybe a bit heavier. As we get into our Sunday dinner time, well, we're looking at the snow to start to resurge just a bit near Madison. Looking at light snowfall once again and some flurries that are going to continue to linger throughout Sunday night into our early Monday morning. So as we're heading out the door for tomorrow, you may see a couple of flurries, but we're not going to be expecting things to be overly much of a headache on the roadways. Taking a look at our travel impacts. Throughout the rest of our Sunday, we are expecting mainly slushy and slick roads. So again, just make sure that you're taking your time on the roadways and also being careful. Here's a look at our 10-day forecast. Temperatures will be into the 30s over the next couple of days, and on top of it, we're going to be warming back up. 40s, lower 50s for Thursday. And this time it's not snow, but we may have a shot of seeing some rain. Then the luck of the Irish is going to cool us back down heading into our Friday. And Shane, it is just an up and down roller coaster once again.
It's the same story we've been telling for, it seems like, months now. But yeah, all eyes on next weekend. A lot of people will be out and about for St. Patrick's Day. So hopefully some good weather in store.
Absolutely.
All right, Julian, thank you. 2 months ago, the Badgers were in the midst of a 5-game losing streak. Now they're heading to Duluth for the Women's Frozen Four. Badgers took their regional site by storm with the latest win, coming against third-ranked Colgate. Here's how it went down during the second meeting ever between these two programs. Nicole Amonte on the move, first period, taking the puck the length of the rink, and there's the first goal of the game. Colgate responds early into the second period, but the tie does not last long. On the power play, Casey O'Brien capitalizing for the go-ahead. Now a 1-goal lead in the playoffs. That's a bit risky, but don't you worry. Vivian Jungles and Layla Edwards there with some insurance goals. Badgers get the big upset win, 4-2. They are heading to the Frozen Four for the 14th time in program history.
All worked so hard for this, and especially doing it for the upperclassmen, that making sure this wasn't their last game, that we're not done yet. Definitely a lot of excitement, but also a little bit of relief. I think we're all pretty confident that, you know, if we won this game, we're going to be able to go all the way. And so just to be able to come here today and show up and play our absolute best, I think that shows us that, you know, we can beat anybody moving forward.
Well, the border battle gets renewed in Duluth. The Badgers will face Minnesota for the 6th time this season, but this go around to the national semifinals. That game is set for Friday. Well, win, you're heading to the Kohl Center. Lose, your season is over. That's the fate for boys basketball teams across the state as they battle it out in this sectional finals. Edgewood and Lakeside Lutheran going head-to-head in Division III. Warriors' last trip to state 2011. The Crusaders back in 2002. Edgewood trailing late first half. Lucas Shulikos able to cut into the deficit as he muscles through the paint, gets the bucket, and won. But the Warriors have the final say heading into the locker room. Levi Burkholz with a nice little spin move, knocks down the jumper, and gives his team a 4-point lead at the break. And they get some separation in the second half. Anders Learman takes it to the cup, extending the Warriors' lead to double digits. Lakeside heading back to state after a 68-65 win. Earlier in D4, Belleville looking to earn its first ever trip to state, taking on the top seed Luther. Belleville keeping it competitive in the first half. DeMarcus Connor has the answer there, pulling up for three, and it's a one-possession game. This drive and dime on the stroke of the half there, keeping it at single digits. Nathan Meyer with the easy finish, but the second half was all Knights. Logan Barr gives Luther a 15-point lead, and it would stay that way. Knights state-bound for the second time in 3 seasons. And more college basketball results. The Marquette Golden Eagles are Big East champs for the first time in program history. Marquette took on Xavier in the Big East championship game Saturday at Madison Square Garden. Big East Player of the Year Tyler Kolek led the way with 20 points and 18 rebounds. They are bringing back lots of hardware back to Milwaukee, and they will await their NCAA fate like so many other teams, waiting for that selection show coming up later this evening. Looking forward to that. We're back in just a moment. We are taking a look at some special students helping out NASA. We will have that story after this.
At Denver Mattress, we're all about that sleep life. And during the 4-day super sale, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Plus 4 years, no interest, no down payment, and free shipping. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
Create your perfect room for entertaining, relaxing, and more with patio enclosures. Right now, get 25% off your sunroom. Plus, enjoy exceptional financing. Call today. Patio enclosures.
Good news! This just in. Your Ford dealers have fresh shipments of their award-winning SUV lineup in stock and ready for you to drive home today. Get your hands on a new Ford, the #1 brand in SUV owner loyalty, including Bronco Sport with standard GOAT modes and Explorer, America's all-time best-selling SUV. And now, here's more good news. Choose FlexBuy on Escape and get 2.9% APR financing for 66 months plus $1,500 FlexBuy cash.
Floor & Decor, my go-to to get it all. Tile, wood, stone, and laminate, they've got it. Installation materials, yep, and all the tools I need, they've got those too. More importantly, they've got my back with benefits and services I actually want, and a pro app that makes my job easier. Floor & Decor just gets it. That means I get more done.
At Floor & Decor, whether you're looking for everyday low pricing on in-stock job lot quantities and installation materials, or a powerful partner to help take your business to the next level, we've got you covered. Discover Floor & Decor today.
Remember this, and the false elector scheme. In Wisconsin, extremist Dan Kelly was the right-wing lawyer behind the scenes of it all. The bipartisan January 6th Commission revealed Kelly advised Trump operatives as special counsel to overturn the will of the people and overthrow the election results. Kelly even went on tour promoting the big lie. On April 4th, vote like democracy depends on it, because it does.
News 3 Now is always on.
Get the Channel 3000 app, activate the push alerts, and we will send you breaking news, traffic, and weather alerts as it happens.
The Channel 3000 app. Get it now.
Powered by News 3 Now.
At Denver Mattress, we're all about that sleep life. And during the 4-day super sale, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Plus 4 years, no interest, no down payment, and free shipping. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
A high-stakes election for a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court. News 3 Now presents a debate between candidates Daniel Kelly and Janet Protasewicz in a Campaign 2023 special. Tuesday, March 21st at 4 p.m. Only on News 3 Now. News 3 Now first warn weather. When severe weather is on the way, find out first with Madison's certified most accurate forecast. Trust our team to keep you informed before, during, and after. First warn weather, keeping you safe and ahead of the storms.
Finally this morning, some very special high school students are working on something other than their geometry homework. They're working with NASA on a launch of their own. Olivia Leach has more.
It's Monday morning at Ben Barber Innovation Academy. These high school students are hard at work using highly technical machines to fabricate parts in this manufacturing class. But this isn't your ordinary school project. They're working on parts that will be used by NASA.
We're building a component to a storage locker box. And the storage locker box is a part that they use to send supplies or experiments up to the astronauts at the space station.
That's right, a mission destined for the stars.
That would be really cool, just knowing that we're making a difference, even if it's something as small as a lid for a locker.
These students are part of the NASA Hunch program, in place in 277 schools nationwide, 20 of which are here in North Texas.
And we tell them that, you know, you guys aren't just a bunch of high school students that are working on a project. You're working for NASA, you're on the NASA team.
As NASA's newest team members, these students traveled to the Johnson Space Center in Houston to hand deliver the parts they've built.
It changes your perspective from that of a little enclosed, oh, this is just a grade, what if I fail, to, wow, this is going out to the space station and it's going to help astronauts store their materials and their experiments. This is a little bigger than an A+ in a class.
Students are trained and mentored by NASA employees, and the parts they make are inspected and held to NASA's rigorous standards.
These are not widgets and these are not paperweights. These are actual structural components that are flying to the space station.
Students are told when a part they've worked on is included in a NASA launch, and they even get a photo of it in use in space. For students like Abigail Gibson, the NASA Hunch program has helped them discover new career paths they never would have considered.
I feel really ready for what's going to come after high school, so that's pretty nice. And I'm getting firsthand experience of what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
Olivia Leach, CBS News, Mansfield, Texas.
Well, that's way better than writing a history paper, I gotta say. All right, Julian, one more check of the weather.
Well, we have the alert day through about the early parts of this afternoon, but for the rest of Sunday, things are going to be running really smoothly, but don't be surprised if you see a couple of snowflakes still lingering. Temperatures will be in the 30s, but warm into the middle 40s to 50s next week. And here's a quick look at La Crosse, pretty similar, warmer into the middle week.
All right, Julian, thank you. Thanks for waking up with us. We'll see you back here next weekend.